Morning, Dr. Arroyo. You said that we couldn't do our presentation in Brown because there was no because there was a power outage or whatever, and you told us to forward you our presentations, and I guess you kind of generally meant a paper, but I figured since we was gonna do the 5.5 minutes in Brown, then maybe I'll be able to do it on the internet. It's pretty much the same thing. Only difference, you're not really be able to ask me any questions. I'll be more than willing to answer any questions through email if you feel need be. But go ahead and proceed with the final exam. First thing you asked, the topic that you asked us to discuss was you wanted us to relate postmodern thought to Afrocentrism. Choose a single element from postmodern and relate it to Afrocentric philosophy. Now, the first thing that we have to do, in order to get what you want from this is to talk about postmodernism. Now, first and foremost, the word postmodernism means after the modern, which just goes to show that the fact that the style is more ornamental than modernism itself. Postmodernism borrows from some previous architectural styles, usually from painting, music, and philosophy. Now, sources tell me, which is Wikipedia, tells me that postmodernism is used in the critical theory and has been the high point of departure for works of literature, architecture, and design. It also said that it would be tied with marketing and business and the interpretation of history, law, and culture in the late 20th century. After first, postmodernism was originally a reaction to modernism. So, pretty much to me, what I feel. Oh, hold on. Also, it was widely influenced by the Western Europeans that was induced by World War II. But pretty much what I think about postmodernism is I feel that postmodernism is just what's supposed to happen, or studying what's supposed to happen after what's going on now. Modernism is the study of what's going on now. Postmodernism is just simply the study of what's going on afterwards. Now, to tie postmodernism in with Afrocentrism, Afrocentrism is just defined as a worldview that emphasizes the importance of African peoples in culture, philosophy, and history. Now, the one thing about Afrocentrism that it says in here is that it says fundamental to Afrocentrism is the assumption that approaches knowledge from a Eurocentric perspective, as well as certain mainstream assumptions in the application of information in the West, has led to injustice and also inadequacies in meeting the needs of African American peoples. And pretty much this is saying is that the Afrocentrism is the study of African peoples, but it's done by the Europeans, and it's kind of hard to be adequate when you're not really there, and you're pretty much on the outside looking in. What the critics is saying about Afrocentrism is that it's just a mythology, and it just exaggerates the contribution of African peoples to culture, philosophy, and history. Some of the things one of the things that critics definitely get at when talking about Afrocentricity is that the claims that the Egyptians was black. The critics, they couldn't support these allegations, saying that the Egyptians wasn't black, so the critics just kind of feel that it's just an attempt to assert black superiority over the races. But I really don't think that that's the case. But the one topic that I had chose from postmodernism that I felt that I could relate to Afrocentrism was the anti-racist mathematics theory, and this is simply defined as a branch of education reform theory which attempts to form an anti-biased curriculum in mathematics. It emphasizes the socio-cultural context of mathematical education and suggests that the study of mathematics in Western societies has traditionally exhibited racial or cultural bias. Now, the people that studies anti-racist mathematics, they pretty much assume that any given mathematical understanding or practice is a product of a particular culture. So pretty much what they're saying is that any math that you do anywhere is just a direct result of that culture or those people. But the people who go for the anti-racist mathematics and saying that this isn't so, that certain places do certain math because of certain races, and it's not because of the place or because like this math is just needed more here. They're just pretty much saying that that the math is done solely because of the race, and that kind of ties into Afrocentrism, because Afrocentrism, you know, like I'm pretty much sure that the mathematics and Afrocentrism was way different than the math in Eurocentrism, you know. And basically the purpose of anti-racist mathematics is, you know, to avoid racial stereotyping when forming and communicating the expectation of pupil attainments in mathematics. Pretty much what they're saying is that they're trying to eliminate the stereotyping from the classrooms, you know, from classrooms, textbooks, coursework, examination questions, you know, they really want everybody to be equal when they're learning mathematics. And that's the way I tie anti-racist mathematics into Afrocentrism and postmodern thought. And I believe I went over my time. Thank you. If this wasn't acceptable, then I would appreciate it if you was to email me and let me know that you needed a paper from me. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's been a good year. I appreciate everything. You're a great teacher. You made everybody push themselves this year, especially with that 8-page paper. And thank you. Bye.